lived in a room on the second floor of the emergency shelter in Santa Barbara. I had a 3-year-old son who shared my room, the light of my life, and was expecting a second son. My partner had an undiagnosed mental condition that had deteriorated into bouts of anger and violence towards me. I suffered great physical, emotional, and psychological abuse. He threatened my life one night with a knife, only 2 weeks after I discovered I was expecting, and I fled to the shelter.
Domestic violence today is really an epidemic. In their lifetime, 1 in 3 women will be victims of domestic violence.
They feel isolated. The perpetrator makes them feel like they're the only ones, and they have no one.
On a daily basis, I would get 3 to 4 calls out of my 15 to 20 calls that involved some kind of domestic violence incident.
But also men now are a big component of that. And of course, the largest component are children, because most of the children in families have no choice. They live in an environment of violence, and they are typically the ones that are hurt the most.
The range of domestic violence calls that we go anywhere from threats where they've broken up with a boyfriend, spouse, and they've now receiving threats via text messages, calls, through friends, and they don't have an outlet. The ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend are driving through their house or are waiting for them at the front door, telling them they can't live without them, or if they don't get back with them, they'll pay for it. Those kind of threats. They range from that to anywhere from the victim can be have missing hair because it's got pulled from their hair, or they have neck marks. I mean, it could range from anywhere between those two, where they're missing teeth in one instance.
We have a 24-hour crisis line that we answer. It is 3 advocates during the day and 1 at night, so the crisis line is always being attended to. We work in the shelter. We work in the actual facility where the women and men and their families are staying in. So we're very much involved in the whole process.
Domestic violence is everywhere. It is in my past. It is in the past of some of my friends. It's in their current situations, but it's everywhere. And you probably know someone who has had domestic violence in their family, maybe themselves. There are women and children and even men that need our help. And that's what Domestic Violence Solutions is a way out.
I think one of the things that people don't realize is how much of an impact domestic violence really is. If it wasn't for agencies like DVS, like us, like the advocates, everyone, how would they know who to go to?
DVS has been fantastic for us. I can't say enough about them. If we did not have DVS, I think it would be very detrimental to our community. They provide so much assistance that the police department could only get to a certain point, and so we wouldn't have an outlet in order to give these people a home or some shelter when they're in a very, very bad situation.
I'd like to give my heartfelt thanks to everyone that's here and everyone in the community that supports us. We get supported in so many ways, and it's not always about money. It's about many other things that people support us by providing gifts, by providing services that we use to help on some of the events we do. But we want to thank everyone in the community for your support.
For the donors, for allowing us to be part of our community and helping so many people, more so than you could ever imagine, including the small children that are part of these families. It's a great cause. Thank you.
DVS will continue to do everything we can do to end domestic violence.
I want to tell you there's hope. I want to tell you that my struggle with abuse was not uncommon. What is uncommon are the level of resources in this community, the number of organizations and programs that exist to help you on your journey. Please accept my story as a message that there is great hope and potential in this difficult process. There are so many possibilities. There are amazing resources in this community. There is so much always to look at and appreciation and be grateful for. I hope, like this phoenix, you will rise from the ashes, embrace your beauty, strength, power, and abilities, and fly.